Hi everyone, I'm Natalie and I'm currently studying as a J1 student in Nanyang Junior College. So before I actually took my O-level paper, I approached Dr. Au to join Uptas Learning Hub for tuition lessons for my chemistry. So stepping into O-levels, I think that it was every student's dream to excel it, and I don't think I was any exception. Of course, I wanted an A1 for chemistry as well. So on a more superficial term, what motivated me to do well in this subject is that chem naturally is a very important subject because it allows you to it opens up pathways to lots of university courses. But in terms of dreams, I actually was keen to pursue careers in the healthcare sectors or maybe even venture into medicine. So chemistry, that really motivated me to do well in chemistry. But then the pain I suffered in school before joining Uptask was that personally my school teacher was pretty slow, her progress in school was pretty slow, and she wasn't someone very approachable. So I didn't really have someone to direct my questions to, and lots of questions were just left hanging. So it was quite obvious that as I progressed up to upper sec, my results started to drop in chem, and that was very worrying because O-level was coming soon. So if I were to compare school notes and Uptask notes, I would say that school notes were a lot more general and vague because they focus more on main concepts and less on details. But nevertheless, for chem, I think that it's not all just about main concepts, but even the smallest details you have to take note of. I still remember that Uptask actually provided me with this small black book that was like my formula book for chem. They had all the smallest details in it, and it made my revision much more easier because all the notes were just consolidated and it was easy for reference. For the practice given in Uptask, I would definitely say that it's a lot tougher than what I get in school. But nevertheless, I feel like that was what prepared me for O's because we never know what will come out for O's. And although it was tough, it made me more prepared to handle tricky questions that may not usually appear in your school test. So before I came to Uptas, I did attend one-to-one tuition lessons, but it did not really work for me because that particular teacher which I engaged was not really able to answer all of my questions, and that's why I decided to give Uptas a try. So what I liked most about Uptas was that I joined Uptas really close to the O-level period, and I was a bit desperate because it was like a sprint. I really had to sprint all the way to O-levels already. So, but Dr. Au was very willing to actually meet me whether before or after class for consultation, where I could just shoot off all my questions, whether was it dumb ones or like really intellectual questions. And also, how Dr. Au conducted lessons was different from what I had in mind about tuition. So Dr. Au actually incorporated Kahoot quizzes in his tuition, which was pretty new for me because it made learning not just about studying, but more memorable and more enjoyable, and it will be definitely easier in that way to just gain your interest back in chemistry. So my most memorable experience in Uptask would be holiday intensive lessons because I remember that we had up to like 2 or 3 lessons per week, and I just felt so drained to go for every lesson. But then Dr. Au always had his way through his Kahoot games, other games to just spice up the learning, and he just made me feel like it was worth giving chemistry a shot and helping me score an A in O-levels. So I would describe Dr. Au as someone that is dedicated and selfless. As I said before, he was really willing to actually just meet me separately for consultation, although he's busy, he has his classes, but he still nevertheless still made time for me. And as a person, Dr. Au was someone very fatherly for me, a fatherly figure. In between lessons, he would just start small talk to give me advice and tips on how to ace O-levels, or even about post-secondary school choices like JC or my subject combi that I should take in JC. So after attending Uptask, chemistry was so much more manageable for me. I remember how after my school prelim paper, all my classmates just came out of the exam room saying that, oh my gosh, the paper was so hard. This question I didn't know how to do, that question I didn't know how to do. But actually I was smiling inside because actually Dr. Au went through something similar and it made me able to just solve the question confidently during exam. And that also helped me build up my confidence towards O-levels. So I did see the result that I desired for both prelim and O-level. I managed to maintain an A1 and that was really, it was really a blessing for me. So if I were given the choice of whether I would recommend my friends and juniors to join Uptas Learning Center, my answer would definitely be a yes.